Hello and welcome, my friend. Today, we're going to focus on something simple, useful, and incredibly important for real communication. Everyday English phrases you must know for fluent conversation. These are not difficult words, and they are not grammar rules you need to memorize. These are the small, natural phrases people use every day when they speak English. In this episode, I'll speak slowly and clearly so you can listen, follow, and repeat if you want. You don't need to understand everything at once, and you don't need to be perfect. Just listen to the sound, the rhythm, and the feeling of the phrases. When you learn everyday phrases, speaking becomes easier because you don't have to think about every word. You already know what to say. Simple phrases like, "That makes sense," "I'm not sure," "Let me think," or "Sounds good," help you keep conversations going naturally. They give you time, confidence, and flow. So relax your shoulders, take a deep breath, and let English come to you gently. Practice these phrases a little every day. Use them in your thoughts, your voice, and your daily life. Fluency doesn't come from big words. It comes from using simple phrases comfortably. And as you do that, you'll notice something beautiful. Conversations start to feel natural, relaxed, and enjoyable. So let's begin this journey together, one everyday phrase at a time. And as we begin this journey together, I want you to remember one important idea. Fluent conversation is not built from difficult sentences. It is built from small, familiar phrases used again and again. When native speakers talk, they don't stop to think about grammar. They don't plan long sentences in their heads. They rely on everyday phrases that come out naturally. These phrases act like bridges in conversation. They help you start speaking, continue speaking, and finish speaking with confidence. And the good news is this: you can learn these phrases slowly, gently, and naturally, just like a child learns language, through listening, repeating, and using them in real life. Let's start with why everyday phrases matter so much. Many beginners feel nervous in conversation, not because they don't know English, but because they don't know what to say next. The mind goes blank, the silence feels heavy, and confidence disappears. Everyday phrases solve this problem. They give you something safe to say, something natural, something correct. Phrases like, "I see," "That's interesting," "I agree," or "I don't know," may seem small, but they are powerful. They keep the conversation alive. They show the other person you are listening, and most importantly, they give you time to think. Now, let's talk about listening phrases. These are the phrases you use when someone else is speaking and you want to respond naturally. You don't need long sentences. Simple phrases are enough. For example, "Oh, really? I see. That makes sense. Right. Okay." These phrases are used constantly in real conversations. They show attention, they show understanding, and they help you sound natural even when you are not speaking much. Practice these phrases softly as you listen. Let them become part of your voice. Over time, they will come out automatically. Next, let's talk about thinking phrases. These are the phrases you use when you need a moment to think. Many beginners stay silent because they are searching for words, but fluent speakers don't stay silent. They use thinking phrases. Phrases like, "Let me think," "Just a moment," "How can I say this?" or "That's a good question." These phrases give you space. They remove pressure. They tell the listener that you are thinking, not stuck, and that makes a big difference. So instead of staying quiet, use a thinking phrase. It keeps your voice active and your confidence strong. Now, let's move to agreement and disagreement phrases. In conversation, you don't always need to explain everything. Sometimes a simple phrase is enough. To agree, you can say, "Exactly," "That's true," "I agree," or "You're right." To disagree politely, you can say, "I'm not sure," "Maybe," "I see your point, but," or "I think differently." These phrases help you express opinions without fear. They help you join conversations instead of watching silently. And the more you use them, the more natural they feel. Another group of everyday phrases is clarification phrases. These are extremely important for beginners. You don't need to understand everything, and you don't need to pretend you understand. Instead, use phrases like, "Can you repeat that? What does that mean? Can you say that more slowly?" Or, "Did you mean?" These phrases are not signs of weakness. They are signs of confidence. They show that you care about understanding, and people respect that. So don't be afraid to ask. Conversation is about connection, not perfection. Let's also talk about polite phrases. Politeness is a big part of fluent conversation. Simple words like please, thank you, sorry, and excuse me appear everywhere in English. But there are also polite phrases like, would you mind? Could you please? That's very kind of you, or I appreciate it. You don't need to use them all at once. Start with one or two. Use them in daily life, and slowly politeness becomes part of your speaking style. Now, let's talk about starting conversations. This is one of the hardest parts for beginners, but again, everyday phrases make it easier. You don't need something clever, you just need something simple. Phrases like, "Hi, how are you? How's your day going? Nice to meet you," or "Can I ask you something?" These phrases open doors, and once the door is open, conversation can flow. Practice these phrases out loud. Say them with a smile. Let them feel natural in your mouth. Another important group is ending conversation phrases. Knowing how to end a conversation politely is just as important as starting one. Phrases like, "It was nice talking to you," "I have to go now," "Talk to you later," or "See you soon," help you leave conversations gracefully. They remove awkwardness, they give structure, and they make you sound confident and polite. Now, let's talk about how to practice everyday phrases effectively. Don't try to learn too many at once. Choose 3 to 5 phrases. Listen to them. Repeat them slowly. Use them in your thoughts. Use them when you speak to yourself. Use them when you speak to others. Repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity creates confidence, and confidence creates fluency. You can also practice by imagining situations. Imagine you are at a shop. Imagine you are talking to a friend. Imagine you are meeting someone new. Then choose a few everyday phrases and use them in these situations. This mental practice prepares your brain for real conversation, and when the real moment comes, your words are ready. Another helpful habit is noticing phrases in real content. When you watch videos, listen to podcasts, or hear conversations, notice the small phrases people use. Write them down. Repeat them. These are the phrases that matter most. Not difficult vocabulary, not complex grammar, but simple, repeated, everyday language. Now, let's talk about confidence again, because everyday phrases are confidence builders. When you know what to say in common situations, fear decreases. You don't feel lost. You don't feel silent. You feel prepared. And preparation builds calmness. Calmness builds clarity. And clarity builds fluency. Remember, fluency does not mean speaking a lot. It means speaking comfortably. It means responding naturally. It means understanding and being understood. Everyday phrases are the foundation of this comfort. They support your speaking like strong roots support a tree. So take your time, learn slowly, repeat gently. Use phrases daily. Speak without pressure. Let English become familiar. Let it become friendly. Let it become part of your life. And little by little, conversation will stop feeling scary and start feeling natural. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to keep going. And everyday English phrases do exactly that. They help you keep going. They help you stay connected, and they help you grow into a confident English speaker, one simple phrase at a time. And as you continue to use these everyday phrases, something important begins to happen inside you. You stop translating in your head. You stop searching for the perfect word. Instead, the phrases appear naturally, almost by themselves. This is because your brain loves patterns. When you repeat the same useful phrases again and again, your brain stores them as complete units. And when a situation appears, the phrase comes out automatically. This automatic response is the heart of fluent conversation. It is calm, it is natural, and it removes fear from speaking. Let's go deeper into how these phrases change the way you feel when you speak. Before, conversations may have felt stressful. You may have worried about mistakes or silence. But now, with everyday phrases, you always have something safe to say. Silence no longer feels dangerous because you know how to fill it gently. You can say, "Let me think," or "That's a good question," and your mind relaxes. Relaxation is powerful. A relaxed mind thinks more clearly, and clear thinking leads to better speaking. Another beautiful effect of everyday phrases is that they help you sound polite and friendly even as a beginner. You don't need advanced vocabulary to sound kind. Simple phrases like, "That's nice," "I'm happy to hear that," or "I understand," create warmth in conversation. People respond to warmth. When they feel comfortable with you, they speak more slowly, more clearly, and more patiently. This makes understanding easier for you. So everyday phrases don't just help you speak, they help others speak in a way that supports you. Now let's talk about confidence again, but this time in a deeper way. Confidence does not come from knowing everything, it comes from knowing enough. Enough to respond, enough to continue, enough to stay present. Everyday phrases give you that enough. They give you stability in conversation. And when you feel stable, you feel confident. Confidence is not loud. It is quiet. It is calm. It is the feeling that you can handle the situation. And that feeling grows every time you successfully use a simple phrase in real life. Let's explore how everyday phrases help you in different situations. In casual conversations with friends, phrases like "really," "no way," or "that's funny" help you react naturally. In work or study situations, phrases like "I'll check," "let me confirm," or "I'll get back to you" help you communicate professionally, even with limited English. In social situations, phrases like "nice to meet you," "thanks for inviting me," or "I had a good time" help you connect emotionally. These phrases are like keys. Each one opens a different door in communication. Another important idea is tone. The same phrase can feel different depending on how you say it. When you practice everyday phrases, don't only focus on the words, focus on the tone. Try saying "that's okay" in a calm tone, then in a friendly tone, then in a reassuring tone. This helps you understand how English carries emotion, and when you control tone, your speaking becomes more expressive and more natural. Tone turns simple phrases into powerful communication tools. Now let's talk about practice again, but this time in a very realistic way. You don't need long study sessions. You don't need to sit at a desk with a notebook every day. Everyday phrases are meant to be practiced in real life. When you hear them, repeat them quietly. When you think of a situation, imagine using them. When you talk to yourself, include them. When you talk to others, use them naturally. This kind of practice fits into your life instead of adding pressure to it. And because it fits easily, you do it more often. Frequency matters more than intensity. Another powerful habit is grouping phrases by purpose. For example, have a small group of phrases for listening, a small group for thinking, a small group for agreeing, and a small group for asking questions. This organization helps your brain access phrases faster. You are not searching randomly. You know where to go. And when your brain feels organized, speaking becomes smoother. Let's also talk about mistakes again, because mistakes will still happen. You may use a phrase in the wrong situation. You may pronounce it incorrectly, and that is okay. Mistakes are feedback. They help you adjust. When someone corrects you or reacts differently than expected, you learn, and that learning stays with you. The goal is not to avoid mistakes. The goal is to continue speaking after mistakes. Every fluent speaker has made thousands of mistakes. They simply didn't stop because of them. Another important part of fluent conversation is listening for phrases instead of individual words. When you listen to English, try to notice groups of words that appear together.
For example, at the moment, to be honest, in my opinion, it depends. These are everyday phrases that appear everywhere. When you train your ear to hear phrases, not just words, your understanding improves faster. And when understanding improves, speaking improves naturally. Now let's talk about memory. Everyday phrases are easier to remember than single words because they're connected to meaning and situation. Your brain remembers context better than lists. So when you learn a phrase, connect it to a feeling or situation. Imagine yourself using it. See the place, hear the voice, feel the moment. This emotional connection makes the phrase stick, and when it sticks, it comes out naturally when you need it. Another powerful idea is patience with yourself as a beginner. Many learners want to sound fluent immediately, but fluency grows layer by layer. First, you use phrases slowly, then you use them more comfortably, then you combine them, then you add variation, and one day you're having conversations without thinking about how you got there. Respect each stage. Don't rush. Rushing creates stress. Calm creates progress. Let's also talk about comparison. Do not compare your English to native speakers or advanced learners. Compare your English today to your English yesterday. That is the only comparison that matters. Did you understand today? Did you speak a little more comfortably? Did you use one new phrase? If yes, you are moving forward. And forward movement, even slow, is success. Everyday phrases also help you develop a natural speaking rhythm. When you use phrases like you know, I mean, or let's see, your speech sounds more natural and less robotic. These small fillers are part of real English. They give your speech flow, they give your brain time, and they make you sound like a real speaker, not a textbook. Use them gently. Don't overuse them. Let them appear naturally as your confidence grows. Now let's talk about building a phrase habit. Choose one phrase each day, just one. Listen to it, repeat it, use it in your thoughts, use it in a sentence. At the end of the day, reflect on how it felt. This small daily habit creates strong results over time. One phrase a day becomes 30 phrases a month. 30 phrases become real conversation ability, and real conversation ability builds fluency. Another important aspect is enjoyment. If learning phrases feels boring, change your approach. Use phrases from movies, shows, or podcasts you enjoy. Choose voices you like. Choose topics you care about. Language grows faster when you enjoy it. Joy reduces fear, and reduced fear opens the door to confident speaking. Now let's talk about identity again, but this time in a deeper way. Identity does not come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing enough. Enough to respond, enough to continue, enough to stay present. Everyday phrases give you that enough. They give you stability in conversation, and when you feel stable, you feel confident. Confidence is not loud. It is quiet. It is calm. It is the feeling that you can handle the situation, and that feeling grows every time you successfully use a simple phrase in real life. And finally, remember this. Fluent conversation is not about saying impressive things. It is about saying simple things comfortably. It is about responding naturally. It is about being present with another person. Everyday English phrases are the foundation of this presence. They support you, they guide you, and they allow your voice to exist freely in English. So keep going, keep listening, keep repeating, keep using these phrases in your daily life. Speak gently, speak slowly, speak with confidence, and trust that with every small phrase you use, you are becoming a more fluent, more relaxed, more confident English speaker, one everyday conversation at a time.